Hi. Oops. I was washing my hand. This is also why I want to move my ring a little bit. Sometimes it looks squished in my finger, and so I tried to give it some breathing space. And also, it gave me a bit of a farmer's tan on my finger, and I don't like how it looks, but I know it's like, oh, you have the ring on all the time. But yeah, I kind of just noticed my finger gets squished in my ring, so I tried to let my finger breathe a bit. So yeah, there's nothing otherwise okay. My fingers do get kind of chubby and squished, especially with rings. That's why I don't really have a thing with rings. And only that one of obviously the wedding ring, but sometimes I have to take it off because sometimes my finger gets super squished. I don't know why it does that. It fits perfectly, but the curse of slim but chubby fingers, I guess. Anyway, hey, sorry for that brief exposition there. That had nothing to do with anything. But hey, sorry, it's late. I apologize. You don't see me right now, but I am groveling on my chair. I am groveling because, yes, I overslept. Summer has hit me hard. You ever heard of that thing called senioritis? I don't know if that's such a thing for students nowadays, but I think it affects certain adults, and I am amongst that few or general population where if you don't have to do a bunch of things, you just fall asleep more than you should. And I'm trying to catch up on my sleep, man, and I love it. I love sleep if I can actually do it because always someone's bothering me. Like there's always someone bothering me, and I like helping. Don't get me wrong. It's just sometimes they just spring it out on you when you're like, "Oh, thank you, thanks for telling me 5 minutes ago." I'm just kidding. Anyway, things that I will do, I don't know yet. I'll probably just talk a lot more and have very little work to show for it. Again, I'm sorry, but yeah. Also, my kid's asleep, so if he starts waking up, starts babbling, well, we're in this together, I guess. I do have some card art I did finish, but I kind of don't like them. Well, I like them okay, but I wish I had a better approach with them. I can show one of my works in progress, just I don't want to paint it right now. Here is this dog. This is actually a real dog that I met in person, and she is my local celebrity in China. Yes, this is a literal Chinese dog from China. And no, whatever dumbass stereotypes you're thinking about that, okay, read a book, okay. Maybe some people eat them, but not all of them, and it wasn't there, okay, so shut up. Anyway, I have a small story about this dog. Her name was I'm assuming was because this was a while ago, so she's probably dead, unfortunately. Well, but her name was originally New New, and from what I've been told, New New is a very common country girl name or nickname where I lived. But then I didn't know her name at the time. I didn't really. I could not really talk to the owner, or I didn't, or the owner was busy doing stuff. But she would just come out there, and usually if I see a cute animal or a dog, usually I would just give them a name because I don't know. I don't like saying, "Hey, you, come here," you know. I don't know about people. I guess that applies to people I don't know either, but I wouldn't say that. Also, my memory's bad. I'm starting to forget people's names, and that makes me sad. Unless I've been talking to you actively, which is very rare, so I probably forgot a good chunk of people from the past's names. I apologize if this ever happens. I would be so embarrassed because I would wish people to remember my name, but my name's not too common, so okay. And so, yeah, I've been calling this dog Chunky Fat Babies. Yes, her name applies because she's so big, she needs to be talked to in a plural sense. So I would call her Chunky Fat Babies, and she would let me scratch behind her head and scratch behind her ears, and she loved it. And then when I mockingly stopped, she would just start scratching my leg, like, more pets, scratch behind the pets, dang it. And so she would always, not always pester me, but she would just, you know, do this to my leg, and then I would just resume scratching her. But I would try to carry her, but she seemed very uncomfortable. Like I would sometimes carry dogs like babies, one of my very most favorite pastimes. And she did not like that. Well, I didn't really get her off the ground anyway, so I was like, okay, okay, don't worry about that. But for some reason, she doesn't like my husband. He would try to pet her from behind, and then when she looks back and realizes this petting feels off, you know, like then she does that when she realizes that's not me. But then when I start petting her from behind, like the scratching up behind her head, she's fine. She loves it. She's totally fine. I kind of noticed some animals don't like my husband. Anyway, so yeah, so I wanted to make a little chunky fat babies dedication to this dog, this local dog that I used to see every so often in China. And yeah, she was quite the hefty little girl. And this, yeah, that's a girl with probably 6 teeth at the moment. But when I last saw her, she probably only had 4 bottom teeth. The top teeth I could never see. She had quite the upper lip going on, which is fine. It's cute. I don't see anything wrong. I always call she's so cute anyway. Even if your face is ugly, I'll still think you're cute, okay? I'm not that picky with dogs, at least with dogs and cute animals. Okay, so card art progress. Yeah, I've been entering a bit of a pause / slump / I've been on break too long because I was worried about some health related things, but turns out great. It turned out great. It's a lot better than I expected. I still have to do another appointment, but that's not until July, but it's not too bad. It's just a routine checkup sort of thing. So I am relieved that I don't have worst case scenario issues, especially the kind that you hear on reports recently. Oh my gosh, I don't want to even get started on that. Oh yeah, I did try to draw her, but I didn't like this one, so I might just paint over that. And then I still haven't done this guy. I think it's because I don't like him too much. I don't give a crap about Zenitsu. And yeah, I keep seeing things about what is it? Demon Slayer is trash. Demon Slayer sucks. I'm like, this is not a freaking Pulitzer Prize, dissertation. It's not a scholarly book. It's not a, award-winning it's not a freaking masterpiece of the masterpieces. It's a freaking shonen manga. What the hell's your problem? Unless you want to write one yourself, go on ahead. It's so easy to criticize. I say this because as I don't like calling myself an artist because there's like yucky stereotypes behind them. But as someone who likes to make things and then random people who don't make shit start criticizing your stuff, and then it's like, okay, where are your credentials? Where's your proof that you're better than me? And they don't have shit. So before you start racking on people and how you know what is a good story, what is a bad story, let's see what you do, okay? And if you do have that, that's great. I'm not clowning on you for that. I'm clowning on those who don't have shit to back their story up, So, yeah. Oh, I might as well show this one. I will explain that later. So, I have blank cards I may want to do. I may try to get some done. Maybe I could paint this one today. Yeah, I don't know if I could paint this one. I could do a base, and I could do a base on this. Okay, and then I'll save the rest for later. But yeah, it's like, if you're gonna rag on people's story, make sure you're actually good at the stuff. It's one thing where you can complain and stuff, but it's another thing where you're not a writer, you don't draw, you don't do any of these things. Like, why do you, and then people are like, well, I have a right to say something. Well, it sucks when you're kind of a dumbass. Sorry to say, but I feel like the internet also gives people a lot more leeway for those who should not really criticize anything when they don't have much to contribute as well. Okay. As for this, I don't like some things about Demon Slayer, okay? I'm not like a blind follower. I worship, No, it's not like that. I do have some hangups with this series that I don't like. For starters, I don't like their character designs, especially with the Hashira. And it's just so outlandish and weird. And I'm like, the main characters are the most basic tame ones, funny enough. But some of I think it's the Hashira ones, the really... It's okay. You can sleep. Just the really exaggerated ones. It's like, I know there's some important backstory as to why they look like that, but sometimes I don't care. It does not, I don't like the look. Just tone it down a smidge. Some of them were okay, I don't mind, but there are just some that, I don't know. And then, yeah, I had another point earlier and I forgot. So this is the downside of me starting things and talking, and then I forget what I was supposed to be talking about. That's my thing I also have to work on. And I also have allergies, so bear that in mind. And so this is, I just wanted to show another kind of card series that I have. It's still a card series, but it is also a playing card series. I don't think I've shown this on here. I might have just shown on Instagram. And so I have slightly bigger cards. These are the actual playing cards I was supposed to be using, but for some reason, the message cards grew on me. I must have mentioned that at least 5 times, at least. I think because there's so many of them and I just got into it more than I expected to, whereas this actually works a lot better for my art style, and it has more of a canvas texturing to it, which works a lot better for my paints. But for some whatever reason, I grew accustomed to this medium. I don't know why. And I don't know why I have Homer being eaten by a zombie donut. This was a friend's recommendation. I mean, request, but it helped. And oh my gosh, does anyone remember Gaia? This was based off one of my Gaia sprites. Oh my God. Ugh. And then basic scenery, but I do like this a lot. And it's not, I also like making things on smaller scales. I realize I get things done a lot faster than the basic 8.5 by 11 inch paper surface area. Whereas these cards, that's why I also got this watercolor. I think it's watercolor. Yeah, it has a watercolor texture. I wanted to test something out on here, but I'm a little bit apprehensive. I'm not done with drawing that yet. I just needed something on the desk. It's already almost 12 minutes and I haven't done jack shit. I'm sorry. So, yeah, I just wanted to show my card progress so far. It's not a lot for here, but this one has over 150 cards for sure that are completed. Just goes to show how much dedication I have if I really push myself. But yeah, if you want to do cards, by all means, go ahead. Just, it ain't for everyone, let's just say. And I don't mean that by a snobby, like, oh, you can't do that because you can't. No, everyone can do that. I got these damn cards from Amazon. Go on ahead. It's just, it takes a lot of time, and you do have moments where you get tired, like I have just now, these past few weeks, but I still like doing them when I get back into them. Usually. Now, why won't this damn thing close? Okay. I also need to actually paint something or draw something. I also realized I had these message cards. I don't remember the series. This one's gorgeous. I like this side. It's really pretty. But I don't like words. There is always light behind. Yeah, whatever. So I'm biased because I live in a place where the sun rarely comes out. So it takes forever unless I drive away from the city. So the other side, I'm like, I found these two. I don't remember where this card deck came from. And there are, it looks like it got a little bit wet. I don't know. I don't remember. I remember and yet I don't at the same time. I hate my brain. Sometimes it drives me nuts. And my nose is insane. So yeah, I may figure something out here. I do have some I was hoarding references. Also, I was distracted due to I was rereading webtoons. Yeah, I read webtoons. So the hell what? I appreciate most kinds of art, especially I always wanted to do comics, but I have a short attention span, so that never panned out. I used to do comic books a little bit, but it was based off my high school. That's how long ago it was. And it was fun, but at the same time, I couldn't keep up. I think it finished when I entered college, and it was kind of less fun after college. High school was fun. College, not so much. I mean, there was, but the usual friends I would hang out with, we all separated, so it kind of went downhill from there. And I have to blow my nose. I don't want to blow my nose on camera. My nose is just super itchy. It's like it wants to shine in the public to be seen and heard, and I refuse. And so it's putting up a fight with my face. Lovely. So let me try to find what to do. I could probably do some sketches while I find something. Ugh, I have references. Oh, I just saw something. Come back. Ah, I like this one. Okay, so, oh shoot, I need to take down the noise. I don't want to hear other things. And then not related, but I found these balloon erasers. These are erasers, but they look like little jellies. I thought these were freaking cute. I just got these at Target. I'm pretty sure they're $1 or $3, one of those two. And these looked cute. I haven't tested them to actually erase, and I don't want to because they're really pretty. Maybe the colors I don't like. I like this one, but I don't like the red. And there's also this one, but I like yellow, but I don't like the shape. But these two I don't want to ruin. And people are waiting for me to do Korean War yet again. Oh, I could talk about what I have been posting recently. Ugh, my freaking nose is driving me insane. And if I blow my nose, it sounds like I'm farting. I mean, yeah. Where's my pencil? Okay, so this. No, I'll use this one. So recently, I have a few slight changes to my uploads. Like, you see my head in a few shorts. I only put 2 shorts, however, because I don't want to focus too much on my face. If you really want to see how I look like, just go on Instagram, okay? There's no mystery there. Though I still don't post my face as much. I don't do a lot of selfies, except on stories and mostly with close friends. So even then, I try to keep that under wraps just because I don't like showing my face too much. It's, I mean, I should. It's not like I'm ugly, but at the same time, I just don't want to make that the central focus point of this freaking channel. So and my account as well. But once in a while, I do put my face on Instagram at least. But here, I wanted to also make sure I actually make original-ish content by those reaction shorts I made. So I only made 2, but I'm supposed to do a lot more. I don't like it. I don't like it that much. Yeah, it's okay to admit things you like and don't like, right? Right? It's called expressing yourself, dare I may say. But the thing is, I'm not very good at reacting. I don't care too much about war movies, but I can appreciate them from what they look like and what they're trying to do, because I can't make that. So I give them some credit. But at the same time, it's kind of weird reacting to something I almost have no interest in. But I do appreciate that it does open a lot of conversation, that it's not common for artists to do that. I'm pretty sure I'm the only one that does it. All right. And if you want to copy, like, just go ahead and try. Just see what happens. Get ready for all those interesting comments. And so, yeah, I only did 2 reactions, and sometimes it's a little funny for me, but I also don't want to make it come off as I'm making war as a joke. I just comment on the surface level, what I'm seeing in front of me. I'm not trying to insult, races or why they're fighting, or like what I see in the comments. Yeah, I read a good chunk of them, whatever language it is that Google Translate can translate. But at the same time, I get it. I can get why people would make fun of it. But at the same time, I don't want to come off like that. You can come off like that. But as for me, I don't want to do that. All right. And so the other thing is it's okay, but I don't like doing it too much. So it's not going to be like, oh, this is going to be a new thing now. So it's like once in a while, because I'm not that interested in reaction videos. I don't even like watching reaction videos. But I think for me to have, to try to branch out more, I need to try different things. So that is one of the reasons why I should try to react and see what happens. If it works out, okay, I'll try. If there's like somewhat of a demand, okay, fine. But yeah, I am going to wear a face mask on this account because I want to. And so the other thing I did was a collab with my editor. And I say editor, but he's actually my husband. But I think it's kind of funny calling him my editor. And it sounds professional. But he does edit my things, so it's not totally wrong. And so, yeah, he helps me out. And so he reacts a lot. But he talks louder than me, so he tends to be more in the forefront. I don't talk. The funny thing is, I talk loud, but when he's around, he's much louder than me. So I sound like I'm mumbling when actually I'm talking normal. but he's a lot louder than me, so just bear that in mind. And then, yeah, those will be actual videos. Those will be the kind of videos that are actual videos and not shorts for once. I also need to try to get better video time, watch time, besides shorts. Shorts can only do so much, but I also want to try to improve my video viewing time, but at my own pace. I don't like rushing and then I'm stressing out and all that crap. I know you're supposed to do that to work harder, yeah, but you see what happened to those seasoned YouTubers that they do all that extra work, 16, 18, 20 hours, sometimes 24 hours, and they're burnt out as hell. They're depressed. They don't spend time with families. I don't want to end up like that, okay? So sometimes being tired and lazy pays off. I'm just kidding. I mean, certain circumstances, it's okay to relax, but you also still have to see, like, I woke up late because I was sleeping, but I needed to sleep. I need to improve on my sleep patterns, but it's also summer, so I tend to be a bit more lax. So yeah, there's that. And so right now I am drawing Sumiko Garashi cats, and they're round. I like round things lately. They're very cute. And so anyway, yeah, so I will still do the shorts reactions, but not as frequently as, like, say, my art things. Maybe once every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how interested I am. And then another thing I did besides the reaction, as for the reaction videos with my editor / husband, he wants to post almost maybe once a week. I don't know, but he likes cranking things out fast. He's the polar opposite of me, basically. I want to take things at my own pace. He wants to go boom, 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 boom in terms of releasing things faster. But he has his own stuff going down, so I don't want to pressure him to do my stuff too much. So I just just chill out a bit, just work on your stuff first, and then do mine as an afterthought. That's totally fine. So yeah, I'm trying to branch out in different-ish content. I also tried putting in different videos besides Korean War. Not a lot of people liked it. There are like Chinese movies I would watch back in China with my husband, and then one of them was the God of Cookery, and because I was raised in the US, I know for a fact that not a lot of Western audiences would like that too much. I mean, it is funny. They have like an interesting story and really weird but interesting characters. But I'm a little biased because I lived in China for a few years, and so I'm down for those kinds of movies. But I know by Western standards, they seem kind of cartoonish and a bit goofy. So I can understand from the Western perspective, it's not as interesting as funny movies here. But even funny movies here, while they are kind of weird, I think they're a little bit more crass, a little bit more perverted. A lot of those scary movie parodies come to mind when I think about our version of humor, and certain other movies where they try to ram in that really, you know what I'm talking about if you watched enough American movies as long as I have. And so I feel like that would not draw as much attention, but I think because my husband is a lot more positive, has a more positive outlook than I do, he wanted to just see what happens. And so I'm like, okay, fine. But then when I saw the view, there's not even likes, but there's a handful of views, but not as much as like the Korean War movie. So we may have to consider just settling for that for now until something else happens. Hint, hint. And very, very vague, much vague hints, because I like the element of surprise as much as I can. Oh, this cat's so cute. Am I getting cat allergies from drawing cats? Not really. I think there's just something in this room bothering the hell out of me. And then I'm just going to draw chubby flowers. Chubby flowers. Oh, he has little hands. Ugh, these are so freakishly cute. They're not accurately drawn, but I'm not looking for accuracy in these cards, which is a good excuse to be sloppy. Yeah, so. Okay, so, oh, these are so cute, and they're so round. have little flowers. Goodness gracious. This is a demonstration of a dangerous combination for me. Cats with flora or plants or flowers that will send my nose and my head reeling with allergies. It's still very cute, gotta admit. And, oh my god, they have reflections too, goodness gracious. See, this is what I mean, like these Japanese cute character mascots. It seems like, oh, it's just cute characters that are around. They look like little jelly beans and they roll around and look cute and stuff. No, you see the original reference? That's quite intricate, okay? Like they have water reflections of themselves. You have a little fish trying to poke out. They have the little friends in the background and more plants and a garden going down in the park or some other, wherever the heck they are. And I have to, like, what? Why did I sign up for this? But I did, so I gotta commit, you know? But I think if I make this blurry, this gives me a better excuse to make it sloppy. It's okay. Okay, so this should be a little higher. Sorry. No, I'll just make it. Oh, thank you. Oh, my son wanted me to show that he drew the Titanic. Yes, I know, it's just a 7-year-old art, and people tend to like bash on kids' trial and efforts, but I don't care what they think. I think this is pretty damn awesome because he is quite detailed on what he sees as a shape of the Titanic. I didn't even think that far when I was like 5, 6, 7 years old. I just wanted to draw Hello Kitty and the Little Mermaid, and that was it. This, however, he draws ships, and he drew the ships and ripped them in half because that represented the ship hitting the iceberg, and he made his own craft where he had the ship sail towards an iceberg made out of paper. He crushed it and made it look like an iceberg. I don't have it right now because I think he ripped it again. But it was like so elaborate. Like I never even thought that far. So despite what it looks like, he's technically better at me when I was his age. That makes me proud, impressed, and low-key terrified because I wish I thought this far as a kid. But yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah, your work is more elaborate and precise than mine. Me, not so much. Yeah, you did, but yeah, it's okay. I already showed that one. Yeah, I know. Thank you for sharing. So yeah, I already have one kid, and he draws better than me in terms of how he drew when he was his age versus when I was his age at the time. Okay, and so yeah. My God, why is my nose so itchy? It's driving me insane. I'm so glad I don't have this camera pointing at me. I'll just be like wiping my freaking nose and scratching it. Yeah, you're gonna have to wait a bit, okay? But yeah, give me a second. I can't stay away from the toaster too long because if I stay too long here and I forget, there's no buzzer on the toaster oven. It's stupid. Or it was there and it stopped working. And so you have to remember that, oh, I need to turn it off, especially with stupid bread to turn into toast. Yeah, it is sinking. Yeah. So, okay, and then I have the little toe bean characters here. They're called Sumiko Garashi. I know I mentioned them before, but they're not super popular, I think. Or they are, I'm just not in the right crowd. I'm apparently not in the right crowd. Okay, and so the reaction videos for the actual videos, not the shorts, what do I think about them? They're just okay. I'm not, like I said, because I don't care for reaction videos, I don't like them as much. I get the appeal, but I've watched a few examples of reaction videos, and a lot of the people just sit there and stare, watch entire content just go on by with little to no reaction, or, oh, that sucks. And then I'm like, that's all you got to say? You don't have anything interesting? Like, you don't even have to be super knowledgeable of the movie. You could just watch it and then just have surface level commentary. And then I feel like people don't want to even make that kind of effort anymore because why bother? I'm just going to edit it out anyway. But sometimes because how I entertain myself, I say a lot of stupid shit, so I sometimes come up with weird stuff. Well, my husband thinks it's funny, but that doesn't mean you guys think it's funny. I don't know. I don't know you guys well enough, but I just say things and hope that, well, I am entertained, but there's no guarantee the audience will be entertained. Because I know sometimes things I like, most people don't really like. So I think that's another reason why I wasn't really popular with my art things. A lot of the art things I draw already are not that popular, but I feel like they deserve more appreciation, more love. Like how many Super Mario Brothers, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, Barbie, Princess Peach, Princess Toadstool, Demon Slayer. How much of those do we really need? Okay, we need other things, but people, because they're not familiar, and this is, I think, why a lot of mainstream media and, like movie makers and TV series people, they always go to the same old actors and actresses, even though they're super old and need to lie down and take a break somewhere, or they rely on the same dry crusty stories that have been going on since the 50s, the 80s, and they don't come up with new things. It's because people like to go towards things that are more familiar. They don't want to try something new, even though they say they do, but in reality, 9 out of 10 times, not really. They want to go, I wonder how this Star Wars movie will turn out. Will it be better than the last terrible ones? Probably not, but maybe this time, they have this blind hope that it will turn out better. And I'm like, you see the track record. It's not going to get better. Why do you keep giving them money? Sorry for my rant. I've been ranting a lot lately, and I try not to, but there's a lot of not so great things going on. So much worse, and I don't want to get into that or I'll feel sad. Okay, so I have one work in progress here, and then I was going to draw the guy from Inuyashiki, but his head got too big, so I might have to either draw him smaller or put his face together in 2 cards. I don't know yet. What can I draw next? Who's bothering me? Oh, thank you. Oh, this one's cute too. Ugh, my freaking face. Okay, sorry. My face is still itchy. Like, of all times for me to be on live, I have an itchy nose. Lovely. And then I did go back to doing one muscle series of Chio's dad. Yeah, that's what it was a while ago. I painted Chio's dad with muscles, and oh my god, that's so weird. That's so ew. So Osaka-san's reaction to the muscles, it's within reason now. Okay, I would react even worse. I'd be like, oh my god, what is that? Help. Okay, so what am I doing here? Oh yeah, I caught up reading webtoons. There's some questionable stories on there I don't even bother reading because even the thumbnail was like, oh man, really? But then there are some interesting ones, no matter what age frame they are, like it's for teenagers. If it's a good story, I don't mind. So the one that I was reading recently, that I just reread at least 2 times, and this is the 3rd time. What is it called? Odd Girl Out. And it sounds like that one animation guy, Odd Ones Out, but it's not. It's not even related. They just have a similar sounding title. But yeah, it's basically high school life in Korea, and they are going through, like, I guess they want to change themselves from being a chubby girl to a thin girl, kind of thin girl. But she encounters 3 other classmates. One of them is an old friend from school, and then they are like goddesses. They're super hot, they're super pretty, and they're like 14, 15 years old, I think. And so she is always seen as the ugly duckling, and I think she also kind of refers to herself as an ugly duckling to a degree, like it's her mascot. She has a literal mascot of being a duck. But then later on, as she improves on her mindset and her behaviors and her actions, and they all become closer friends and they clear up some misunderstandings, it turns out to be a pretty solid story. and pretty nice characters, but then now there's complaints. Here are the complaints again, where those characters, like one character moved away, the other two are still around, but they feel like readers notice that those two other characters that are her friends are slowly being pushed out of the picture to replace them with love interest and love triangles and making new other friends. And then she doesn't even talk to her main friends that she made in the beginning. And so people are like having like making such a big deal about these characters. Like, why can't they be together? And how come Yuna's not here and this and that? And then I get why they also don't like one of the male characters. But what stops me from getting too invested, it's a story. They're not real people. Why do we get so highly invested in imaginary fictional characters? If you're not careful and you don't remind yourself, that's fiction. You just go into a downward spiral as to why can't they be together? I want them to be together. And this whole shipping business stuff, man, my God. I don't mean shipping and handling. I mean, who goes together in the end of the story? And oh my gosh, it's like, that's why I come up with your own ideas based on what you read, but also just bear in mind, it's a story. It's not real. It's based on, the slice of life, aesthetic slice of life thing. And if you apply that to real life in Korea, I'm pretty sure a good chunk of that stuff would never happen. So it's fiction, it's fantasy, accept that for what it is and just go with it, okay? And even if you don't agree with what the writer is developing the story into, that's the writer's decision. She's not going to read your comments and go, oh, I should make a change. They're right. They don't give a shit. Tell me I'm wrong. Most of the time, the authors will not give a crap unless they do. And hey, that's also a bonus. That's pretty cool of them. But if they have an idea of what their direction their story is going, that's up to them. They're the ones writing it, not us, Sometimes having the audience involved with what you want written as a story, it's not the best idea. Have you seen fan fiction? Not a specific one, just in general. There's some fan, oh my God, man. Oh, that's some nasty, like y'all are sickos. Calm down. But the ones that are actually good, hey, that's pretty impressive. Maybe you should get into writing stories and stuff. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, some fans need to chill out, all right? Okay, so what am I drawing this time around? Sorry, I'm like talking a lot and I don't do a lot of art. I feel bad. Okay, so I did ice cream already. Jinbei-san. I like Jinbei-san. Let's have Jinbei-san. So Jinbei-san, Jinbei-san. He or she, I don't know, but it's basically a whale shark. And it looks small, but have you seen how big those suckers are? Oh my God. Huge. Thankfully, they're not meat eaters. I mean, they eat, shrimp and krill, basically. How they only eat that and get so large, I don't know. But they make the whale shark look eerily cute. And the little sea critters it hangs around with also eerily cute. So they had some cute moments, I'll admit. But I don't really invest enough time to really like, I buy all the things. No, I can't do that. Plus, some of their stuff's expensive. Don't get me started. But they're cute. What's wrong with that? Plus, it's a lot easier for me to draw than like this freaking alien here trying to eat Nagisa's face in the classroom. Yeah, I still haven't done that. So yeah, I like different things, and there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like we, as artists and people who make things, they tend to be pigeonholed because fans like the things that they make, and if you veer away from what they like, they unsubscribe, they unfollow, they don't like your stuff anymore because you're not doing the same thing that they want you to make. And I feel and understand the pressure that some artists and people who make things go through when they lose followers because you're not following what they want you to do. They say, oh, I didn't expect that. Bye. And they do that. Or, oh, your stuff's not as good as your recent stuff. I mean, your older stuff. I want the old stuff better. Bye. I get that. That's messed up. And I can't vouch for all artists, but when I see that happening where people just start leaving my stuff, no explanation even, they don't have to explain anything. You're like, oh shit, what did I do wrong this time? Time to be butthurt. And then it's okay as long as you move forward from there and you don't like you actually make videos on why you're butthurt about such things. Don't do that too much. Maybe like if you have a really bad day and you have a reason to vent, a legitimate reason to vent, go ahead. You had a bad day. I understand. I'm sorry about your feelings and how they are, but we all had those days at some point. But then if that's the only content you make where you're only sad and miserable and there's nothing getting better, people are not going to like that, unfortunately. It sucks, but that is the truth. People want to see a happy ending. People want to see things get better, but it doesn't work out for some people. Sometimes they don't learn from their mistakes, or they keep getting into train wreck after train wreck after train wreck, and I'm like, don't do that anymore. But I don't know why. They have reasons why they keep doing the same things, and I can't do anything from there. And then I understand why people would unsubscribe if like their vlogs and their life isn't improving, and you're like, I want to cheer for you, but how can I, you know? So yeah, but that's not really art. With art, it's a little different. It's well, there's similarities and differences depending on what their content is about. And so for me, I cannot vouch for other people, but for me, because I do different things, very, very different things than the standard, than the norm of what artists should and can do or whatever, a lot of people don't like it. Even some of my friends don't always like my stuff. So I get that. Well, I'm like, hey, you're my friend. Why don't you like my stuff? But I don't say that. I'm like, that's their choice. They don't have to like everything. Just like you don't have to like everything they post, right? So it's okay for people to not like your things. It's okay and understandable that some people will not like your things as your stuff and your skills and your content changes. But at the same time, don't make it so where you make like hate videos and you started hating on people making terrible, horrible comments about you. I mean, you can clarify some things. I understand that. You can do that. But then when you start hating on, stop hating, you just make content just to rag on the comments, to try to be the naysayer, and then it just goes on to being your content for several months to maybe a year, or that becomes your identity. Like that's too much. Okay, you need to chill out or take a break from internet, which is really hard nowadays, but you gotta take a break if it gets that bad, and so for me, I don't do a lot of social media except Instagram and YouTube, because the other ones that I tried, it's 43 minutes already, jeez, I don't like very much. Or I tried for a while because I had friends there, then they left and they didn't tell me, and I'm like, why am I here? And then I look at the content going on, I don't like it anymore, and so I leave. I uninstall. I don't delete, but I uninstall, and I'm like, okay, forget it. And so that reminds me, that's another thing. I do have a list, and I forgot. I finally joined the Kara, that website every artist and their grandmama was starting to make an exodus of making an influx switch from Instagram, where they were telling you need to delete all your stuff. AI is going to look at your things and steal your work, and then go to Kara. It's the next best thing. It's like DeviantArt before it got all corporate. When will Kara become the next corporate thing, There's no escape sometimes, it feels. But I did join there finally. They didn't let me register the first time around, but I waited like maybe a week later, and then I can get in. But they won't let me post even a freaking profile picture. What's up with that? Am I that hideous? Maybe. I don't know. But I joined, and it looks like another typical art app where all the best of the best artists post their work, and it's on the forefront, where everyone else, like me, are in the background fodder, and I don't get much recognition. I already see that this is not going to work out for me. So that looks like another bust. But I only put one painting there, and it's the Water Nomad from the Philippines. I also want to put maybe a little bit more serious work, not this stuff, unless it looks pretty cool. But I only got like 2 likes, and the other like is from me. Okay, so yeah, I don't really see much hope for Kara either, unless you're a prodigy and you have perfect digital art and no lines and all that crap. And I'm like, well, I guess I got sucker punched into that. But I'm just gonna see how it turns out if I post a few more. And if it's still lame as hell, I'm gonna have to delete that account too, because I don't care. I don't want to waste time on there, to be honest. I do miss with art pencils, like those artist pencils that are like typical turquoise. They don't have an eraser on top. I actually like that about these. So yeah, artist pencils, or there's mechanical pencils, but sometimes the eraser just pops out and you lose it. Whereas this, it's just stuck tight. So, well, people kind of clown on pencils that are, number 2 school pencils. They're not bad. I don't mind. Oh, he's cute, but he has circles going on, so yeah, it looks like he has little chicken pox. Oh, and this one has a face. Oh my god, that's particularly cute. So I have 2 for now. I don't know if I'm going to be painting. Probably not, unfortunately. I just want to get some cards done. I'm like more than halfway done. I'm pretty sure I'm like almost 60 cards on card deck 2. So I have progress despite me being lazy, quote unquote. Oh, there's I should have put this in the Cherry Blossom series. You schmuck. Okay. Let me see if there's another similar picture. Then I could do that one. That would be a great idea. Also, I like this face. Cute. Okay, so maybe I'll do that one. There's one, but I might change it later. Sorry, I'm trying to get. I am crazy when it comes to getting what is it? References. They're so much fun to do. Or I could just get them all the dang time. Just because there's so many cute drawings out there. Like, how can you not, Okay, so what is this? Okay, right. So it's kind of weird that they have cherry blossoms under the sea, but logic just flies out the window when it comes to these characters, and that's totally fine. I think sometimes because of internet, we think way too much than we should. Like, why does this have to have this? This is supposed to make sense. And sometimes maybe it doesn't have to. Let's just enjoy the aesthetics. Let's just enjoy the pastels and the cute things. And why the heck not? Because I feel like we just keep overanalyzing, nitpicking. We just miss out. We just don't enjoy anymore. We don't always have to have reasons for everything, But I think internet also ruined that, like the air of mystery. Like you have to question things, and we don't know. But now that we have information in front of us, it's like, well, now what? Sorry, I talk too much. What else do I have on here that I joined Kara and it's meh. That's one of my notes. Yeah, it is meh. I was like, this is it? Why is everyone making such a big deal? It's like another, since it's no better than DA right now. But yeah, they don't want AI stuff. But I only been there for like about a week, and I don't really see much, and no one cares about my work. So I was like, okay. But I only posted one thing, so that's another thing to consider. I should post a little bit more, but I'm not really liking the environment already, because a lot of art sites are like that, where the best of the best are put to the forefront and everyone else, me included, are shoved way in the back. And we get like very little input, very little activity in our own accounts. So I'm not that surprised that is the way it is, but I'm also annoyed that they suckered me into joining this stupid account. So I do have a chance to add a bit more and then see what happens from there. But I also I'm just tired. I'm tired of that crap. Okay, so I have 2 things now. Yay. Maybe I could cram in one more. What the hell is this? I don't. Oh, it might have been a cat. Can I do something else? I know it's a bunch of cute things, but I like cute things, and it's so. There's so many pretty colors on here. Okay, so I guess I could do that from here. So here's, I want to do some ocean water things because it's going to be a theme. I like themes. What's wrong with these? Oh, Father's Day came and went. It was last weekend. I'm sorry I did not wish you guys happy Father's Day. I hope if you do have your fathers around, happy Father's Day to them. If you are a father yourself, also happy Father's Day. Also grandfathers would count as a happy Father's Day. On Saturday, we just went out with my family and I to just hang around in the touristy areas. And then we ate for an early dinner and then hung around at the beach and then went home because it was getting cold. That was basically it. And then the actual Father's Day, we just stayed home because it was getting kind of cold and we didn't want to it's so easy to get sick here. It's stupid. And so we just try to play it safe and stay home. But it was pretty chill. It's okay to be lazy. So we just stayed home and I had some gifts for my husband. I won't tell them what they are because it's funny. Well, not funny, but yeah. He liked his gifts, and I also gave him something related to fishing because he likes fishing. And so, and we just hung around and I think we did live streams and games and stuff, and that's about it. It's super chill. And then, sometimes on Instagram, I would make a post about my dad because he already passed away way long ago already. And don't worry, it's not like super, oh, I'm still sad. Well, it is kind of sad because he did have quite an impression. He had a very, not so much extroverted, but he had quite the presence. Like, he's there. Like, even when he was already gone earlier on, I did not think he was dead. I thought he was still in the living room in his recliner watching late night TV until super late and he falls asleep. And it took me a long while to realize that was not the case, and it wasn't like, oh, but it was just kind of sad to realize that he's not there anymore. But at the same time, at least he's not suffering. People don't like hearing that, but yeah, would you want your loved one to be alive and suffering a lot? I wouldn't. And so, yeah, I sometimes would take some time to remember how my dad was. But not only on Father's Day, there would just be some instances like during family gatherings or when I'm talking to like my siblings, usually my brothers, about our dad. And like, remember the time he did that? Or remember the time he did that? And then he yelled at us and we were just like, oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean like yelling like oh, are you okay? Do I need to call CPS? No. It's more like he got mad at us if we did stupid things. And it's within reason. But sometimes when you're a kid, it just seems more scary than when you realize, oh, it was your fault. You're not using your head. And that was a common thing he would say to us. Like, you're not using your head. Why aren't you using your head? But then, yeah, he was an interesting guy, I think. A lot of people liked him. He was really generous with his gifts, especially amongst his family and friends. He was very lavish with the gifts, and he was good at picking gifts and picking fruit. Funny enough, he would also have this eerily gift of finding the most perfect mouth-watering watermelons and strawberries. Like I remember as a kid, the strawberries he would get from either like a local farm near his work or at some marketplace. He had strawberries the size of my fist. Well, it's a lot smaller, but like at least way like this size. He would always pick the perfect strawberries and watermelons, and he would just knock on them. He wouldn't give a shit. He just knock on them. Okay, no. Okay, that one. So he would get watermelons like that, and then when I tried, I still get messed up. It skipped a generation apparently. So yeah, he was good at picking fruit, good at picking gifts. He would spoil you rotten if given the chance. Because he was a veterinarian, he did make some money, but I'm not saying, oh, he was the best. I mean, he made pretty well, but also he always tried to make time with family, even though he owned his own practice. Um, Even though he was working there 7 days a week, on weekends he would have us go on Saturday and Sunday to work at the clinic. So I did have some stories I mentioned that I would go to the clinic ever since I was like tiny, to help out with my dad. But as a little kid, obviously I can't help out very much. But as I got older and I had to help out with like cleaning the cage rooms or cleaning the exam room and surgery rooms and cleaning out in the parking lots. Yeah, so I did work a lot as a kid, and it got to the point where I thought, oh, it's Friday. It's time for me and my other classmates to go to their parents' veterinary clinics and help their families clean over the weekend. I used to think my other classmates went to their parents' veterinary clinics and helped out with their parents, but apparently not. Obviously that's not what happened, but that's just how I thought that this was normal. But that's not necessarily bad. I think it helped me learn about cleaning up after ourselves, cleaning up after animals. So even though if you want an animal, they do take a lot of work and it's annoying, but it is what it is. It's like almost like having a child, almost. Okay, they don't live as long as children, but you know. And so I grew up around the veterinary clinic, and I would also go there sometimes for the summer